Welcome back to a special edition of Out Front and our breaking coverage of the Speaker vote. The House voting now on whether to adjourn. It is a crucial vote. It's been a chaotic day. Republicans battling it out over who will be the Speaker of the House. It's completely deadlocked. One Democratic congressman is now suggesting he could support a moderate Republican for Speaker with some conditions. As we're now actually, these kinds of scenarios are possibly on the table. Democratic Congressman Khanna of California is with me now. Congressman, let's just first start with this vote. This is a huge vote, whether Kevin McCarthy can succeed in getting Congress to adjourn until tomorrow. This actually is a huge vote. Obviously, do you think he's got the votes from what you understand on the floor?
I haven't been able to predict anything this week, so I don't know if they have the votes. But I'll tell you, I voted no. I think we ought to stay here in the People's House until we have a speaker. We have to stay here all night. If we have to stay here all weekend, I don't understand why we're adjourning. In other workplaces, if you don't get the job done, you stay at work. You don't just get to go home.
So we're in a situation where this is happening because the Republicans are not able to get the votes together to pick a speaker. You have come out, Congressman, and said something early, you were bold in saying it, that you are open to crossing party lines to support specifically a moderate Republican for Speaker. You named Brian Fitzpatrick, Mike Gallagher, or David Joyce. Have you had any talks today about this possibility?
Well, first I said that I'd love to see 6 Republicans vote for Hakeem Jeffries. But I said at the same time that I'd be open to looking at a Republican if they made certain important concessions. If they agreed that they wouldn't hold this country hostage to a debt ceiling debate, if they wouldn't hold the country hostage to a shutdown, and if they wouldn't have unilateral subpoena power where they go launch frivolous investigations against the president. Now, some Democrats have criticized this, and here's my question to them. Would they rather have a Kevin McCarthy or whoever make deals with the far right, which is going to mean 2 years of utter division, possible default on the debt ceiling, or should we look to have someone who's going to work cooperatively with this president? I think we have to look at all alternatives.
So in your conversations with your colleagues, your Democratic colleagues specifically, are there others who feel the way you feel?
Sure, but I don't think they are necessarily going to be public. And look, we've been very unified. We have voted for Hakeem Jeffries, I think 10 times in a row, united. The first option would be, can we get 6 Republicans to vote for Hakeem Jeffries? I think that would be the best solution for the country. But if we can't, then we have to look at the alternative. And one of those alternatives is, can we get some key concessions from a Republican and have a coalition that way? That is far preferable to what's going on today, which is that Kevin McCarthy is moving further and further to the right. And basically, if he does succeed, is going to sell the House to the farthest right part of the Republican Party, where you have some members saying, we want to default on the debt. That's the only way we're going to vote for Kevin McCarthy. I just don't understand how that is a good outcome for this president, for the country, or the Democratic Party.
So just to be clear here, to state what you're saying a different way, there's no way you would ever support anything like a rules change to allow a speaker to be picked by a simple majority that would, help Kevin McCarthy, or any other way that would help Kevin McCarthy, given what you're saying.
No, and I would certainly defer to Hakeem Jeffries in terms of any negotiation directly with Kevin McCarthy, but he could have come to Hakeem Jeffries, just like John Boehner came to Nancy Pelosi to save this country in the financial crisis. He could have come to Hakeem. He's chosen instead to deal with the far right and make concession after concession. And that should be, I get right now it's a Republican mess, but look, it's going to be a mess for the United States of America if we have a Speaker of the House beholden to the farthest right.
All right. Well, Congressman Khanna, I appreciate your time. Always appreciate speaking to you. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Good night, sir. And thanks so much to all of you. Waiting for this vote, going to find out adjourn or not. A crucial test for Kevin McCarthy, and our special coverage of that vote and the vote for Speaker continues now with AC 360.